We're a tribe of warriors. In ancient times, we were responsible for patrolling and defending all of Natlan.
Here's the torch.
So Khan's still managing to sow
I did not.
discord even after all these years.
If you want to resolve a conflict through
There
dialogue,
we go.
sometimes you need a third-party facilitator. At this time and place, I'll bet the easiest person to find is...
I can't be allowed because I'm downstairs.
His spirit has gotten lost and can't find its way back to his body.
I just
I
want to
don't think
rescue
I'll
someone.
pull for all
and
alone.
Granny won't let me.
$500 later, and it's
Wow.
resurfaced again.
I worry that we risk repeating the mistakes of the Cinder City.
As long as the soul is involved, I should be able to help.
Breathe!
Take me up!
Oh, new voice.
Time to say
Chat is
hello.
not hitting the same
Knock him down.
for me. Because I'm a big fan
It's
of
either your end or
I'm a
mine!
big fan of Senna from
Before the
League of
final
Legends.
moment truly arrives,
Chat is not hitting
we
it
must
for
fight
me.
harder than ever.
Okay. I should have a Genshin open by now. Just put it on Notepad. Six Almof Ilka.
Hey travelers, welcome to the Genshin Impact version
And
5.2
there's the
special
one
program.
strike.
I'm Gabe from the Loke team.
And I'm Kai. We meet again. Whoa, a cuckoo soar. Want to join us?
Hey, don't be shy. Come out
That
and
must
say
be the
hello.
animal.
I'm not sure what that meant, but it was adorable.
She approves of your compliment.
Hey, I didn't know you could speak Saurian.
Oh, I can't, but I can make an educated guess based on her body language.
Whoa, are all cuckoosaurs as friendly as this one?
Adult cuckoosaurs are usually very proud creatures, but there are always exceptions.
Well, since our cuckoosaur friend kicked things off for us, I know just the place to start. The Flower Feather Clan.
All right, let's do it. Cuckoosaurs live among the Flower Feather Clan, which is suspended high above the mountains. This is a tribe of warriors, and most of their people can command the power of the skies. It was the Flower Feather Clan's ancient duty to patrol and safeguard the entire region of Natlan. As elite special forces, their job was to detect threats, disseminate intel, and quickly neutralize any dangers to the nation. Though the circumstances are different now, the tribe never forgot its origins. They still hold trials to assemble the fastest teams in the tribe. The trials test a pilot's skill and teamwork with the cuckoosaurs.
Oh, I'm so pumped about these cuckoosaurs.
Yeah, cuckoosaurs are the proudest out of all the saurians. They know that they're the kings of the sky. Cuckoosaurs can consume phlogiston to climb higher or perform a horizontal roll in midair.
Oh.
Holding the sprint button allows them to enter an accelerated glide state after a horizontal roll. In addition, they can even use phlogiston wind tunnels to quickly cover great distances.
Okay, so I'm assuming that cuckoosaurs are really hard to tame.
Yeah, that's true. You need to prove yourself in some worthwhile feat, like demonstrating exceptional archery skill during flight. That's the only way to become a true cuckoosaur rider.
Wow, that's so strict.
Yeah, tell me about it.
Wasn't just
But okay,
a
now that
birthright
we've got a
user.
glimpse of the Flower Feather Clan, It's time for a quiz.
What? Already?
Yep, I hope you're prepared. Every tribe in that land has a unique way of communicating with their Saurian companions. The members of the Flower Feather clan use a special item to summon their Cucusaurs. What is that item?
A basket filled with their favorite foods?
Here's a hint. We just saw the answer in the previous video.
Oh, I remember now. Horn.
Ding ding ding! Cucusaurs live far from the tribe and from each other, so in order to summon them, the tribe's people use whistles and horns to produce loud noises. So there's your overview of Cucusaurs. Maybe they sound a little unapproachable compared to other Saurians, but don't worry, travelers. If you get into a tough situation, then Chaska, the Flower Feather clan's expert peacemaker, can help mediate the conflict.
Knitch mentioned that her method of mediation is silencing both parties. Is that true?
Well, that's only in special cases. Most of the time, Chaska barely needs to intervene. Everyone knows what she's capable of, so people usually find a way to set aside their differences when she shows up.
Oh, so she doesn't just handle conflicts between humans and Saurians. She keeps the peace between people, too.
Exactly. Chaska was corrupted by abyssal power as a child, so she has a strong compulsion to fight, but she knows how to rein it in.
Right. I heard that she was abandoned as a baby. It seems like she's been through a lot.
Yeah, but luckily for her, the Cucusaurs took her in and raised her as one of their own. In addition to hunting and flying, Chaska gained a lot of unique combat experience from her Saurian childhood. When Chaska is in your party, defeating monsters will restore phlogiston to your party. While she's in the Night Soul's blessing state, Chaska can ride and control her gun like a Cucusaur. The Soul Sniper doesn't just increase her movement speed and resistance to interruption, it also allows her to get a better angle on her enemies.
The restoration
Wow,
looks like
that
wonderful for her.
mid-air perspective is so cool. It seems so liberating.
The restoration
and Chaska's
makes me wanna
fierce
bolt.
when she's in the zone. In the Night Soul's blessing state, Chaska's normal attacks deal animo damage to enemies in front of her. Unleashing a charged attack in this state will cause Chaska to enter a special aiming mode. This allows her to lock onto a set number of enemies within range and fire up to 6 Shadow Hunt shells, which deal animo damage upon impact. In addition, for every Pyro, Hydro, Cryo, or Electro character in your party, one of Chaska's Shadow Hunt shells will undergo an elemental conversion to deal the corresponding type of elemental damage.
Whoa, no way! So Chaska can directly deal other types of elemental damage based on the characters in her party. And since she's an animal character, she can swirl them at the same time. That's awesome!
Yeah, I know, right? Her elemental burst has a similar function too. Chaska fires a gale-splitting Soul Seeker shell during her burst, which deals animo damage. The attack then splits into 6 Soul Seeker shells, which continue to attack nearby enemies. These shells can also undergo elemental conversions.
That's so cool! No wonder she's one of the strongest warriors in her tribe.
Speaking of her tribe, the warriors from the Flower Feather clan are formidable for sure, but we should also shed some light on those who aren't as skilled.
Oh, are you talking about the wingless? That's what the tribe calls people who fail the flight trials, right? They're the challengers who fail to earn the recognition of a Cucusaur.
Wingless sound like a
But the name
slur.
doesn't indicate that those people are weak or deserve to be cast aside.
Yeah,
The Flower Feather
Yes.
clan has its own definition of strength. There's a tacit understanding that the wingless are supposed to be protected until they can fly by themselves. But that assumption is challenged in Tribal Chronicles
Segregation.
Tlalocan. Someone will dare to ask, what if you didn't need a Cucusaur to fly? If you could change the rules, then maybe there wouldn't be any wingless to begin with. Now, whether that's the right path is for us to discover. Chaska will also be there to help us find the answer. So, be sure to check out Chaska's Tribal Chronicle if you're interested in what happens.
Is there anything else that you can tell us?
Remember how I mentioned that Chaska was raised by Cucusaurs?
Yeah, tell us about it.
Her Saurian mother will make an appearance in this quest. Even though she's joined human society, Chaska still goes to visit her Saurian mother on occasion, especially when she needs some help with a tough situation.
Oh, so Cheska still has the soft side, even though she's a fearsome warrior.
Definitely. The Flower Feather Clan is also the setting for the Archon Quest Chapter 5 interlude, All Fires Fuel the Flame. The tribe is facing a crisis, and they'll need the travelers' help to find a solution.
What kind of crisis?
Well, the Flower Feather Clan suffered the worst of the abyssal contamination during the battle in version 5.1. It's not just the human body that can't withstand high concentrations of abyssal power. For most people, it also damages the mind. Many members of the Flower Feather Clan are suffering from the mental repercussions of the abyss, and the tribe is in desperate need of aid. Iansan will be there too. After rebuilding her own tribe, the Collective of Plenty, she's traveling around Natlan to help those in need.
The people of Natlan really value unity, don't they? No one fights alone.
Right.
That's one of my favorite things about Natlan. Oh, wait. It looks like the captain will also be there.
Yes, the captain will also offer help to the tribe. You may pick up on some interesting information if you pay close attention to what he has to say. The captain rarely gives away too much information in his regular interactions, but his secrecy here seems a little peculiar. So keep an eye out, but of course, restoring Natlan's fighting spirit remains the top priority. After all, the war isn't over yet. The abyssal contamination is still around, and we have a very important battle ahead. Natlan needs mental fortitude more than ever before.
The Flower Feather Clan is pretty close to the masters of the Nightwind, where the Ictomosaurs live. That tribe could be another good place to recover from the battle.
Oh yeah, let's check it out.
If you head west from the Stadium of the Sacred Flame and go past the towering walls, you eventually arrive at the settlement of the mysterious Masters of the Nightwind. The tribal settlement offers a unique glowing landscape at night. If you venture even further, then you might encounter the tribe's Wath Ictomosaur Elder, or one of the many shamans who can communicate with spirits. I even heard that the witch doctors who live there can help cleanse your spirit. Plus, the graffiti art is really incredible. In fact, there's something special about this one. Can you figure it out, travelers? It's kinda tricky, right? Well, don't worry, the Ictomosaurs can help us out. Ictomosaurs are known for their wisdom. They can use their unique sight to detect things that can't be seen through normal means.
Whoa, okay.
Right. Ictomosaurs are especially skilled at detecting ley lines and phlogiston. They can absorb power from phlogiston objects to enhance their abilities. Doing so allows them to jump higher, move faster, or even obtain surprising rewards. Ictomosaurs can also extract information from graffiti art to create special objects.
Oh, I bet that'll come in handy for solving puzzles.
Definitely, especially in Tribal Chronicles Mictlan, which
now
will
we
become
have
available in
Echo
version
and-
5.2. The first two acts feature a lot of intriguing puzzles, so be sure to check them out, travelers. Some of them will require the help of an Ictomosaur, and others can be solved on your own.
I noticed that Ictomosaurs can perform fast-paced jumps when they have enough phlogiston, and it looks like so much fun. Do we know anyone who can use that ability?
Yeah,
Besides the
Oloron.
new Saurian, I mean.
Yes, Auroron can do it too. Like the Ictomosaurs, Auroron has the ability to rise into the air. He also has a keen sense of perception. While charging an aimed shot, Auroron will enter the Spirit Speaker state, allowing him to extract power from Natlan's graffiti and runes.
Speaking of Auroron, I was honestly super surprised by his personality. Before the 5.1 Archon quest, I thought that he looked like a stern, stoic, and harsh type of character. But as it turns out, he's just a sweet kid.
Yeah, it's kind of unexpected, right? Is he really that sweet though? Just to think about all the sneaking around behind his granny's back.
Ah, true.
The tribespeople of the Masters of the Nightwind are known for being eccentric, but Auroron really takes it to the next level.
Yeah, it sounds like he does things his own way. I wonder if that extends to his combat abilities.
It does. Auroron is a bit different from the Natlan characters we've met so far. He doesn't need to depend on the Night Soul's Blessing state to gain Night Soul points, and he can maintain the Night Soul's Blessing state even while he's off-field.
Ah, that does sound different from the other Natlan characters. So how do his abilities work?
Let me start by explaining how Auroron gains Night Soul points. This can happen in multiple ways. For example, Auroron can gain Night Soul points when one of his party members triggers a Night Soul burst. He can also gain them when other party members deal Hydro or Electro attacks to enemies after Auroron unleashes his elemental skill.
Oh, then it sounds like he works well with Hydro and Electro characters.
Yep. And in combat, when enemies take damage from electro-charged reactions or other party members deal Night Soul aligned damage, Auroron can consume Night Soul points to enter the Night Soul's Blessing state and trigger the Hypersense effect, dealing electro damage.
Oh, I see. So you need to pair him with the right characters if you want him to gain Night Soul points, enter the Night Soul's Blessing state, and trigger—
Doesn't need to be on the field to trigger the Hypersense effect.
Wait, he can trigger it even while he's off-field? That sounds really useful.
Totally. His Elemental Burst provides a convenient way to deal damage and support your party. Auroron performs an ancient reach roll with his burst to summon a supersonic Oculus, which taunts nearby enemies to draw them in. Once they're up close, the Oculus releases a sound wave to deal damage.
That should be great for crowd control.
Yes! With Auroron in your party, dealing with large groups of enemies should be a lot easier. And speaking of making things easier, Auroron can also improve the exploration experience by boosting the gliding speed of your characters.
Awesome.
Auroron really cherishes his friends. With a little teamwork on his side, I'm sure victory will always be within reach.
Cool. So we introduced two of the upcoming regions in this update, the Flower Feather Clan and the Masters of the Nightwind. But there's more. Version 5.2 actually introduces another new region. It's called Ochkanatlan.
Oh, I think we caught a glimpse of this ancient city when we were looking at the Flower Feather Clan. It's really beautiful from far away, but those clouds look kind of ominous. It looks completely abandoned. Is it dangerous?
Yes, this is a restricted area in that land due to its severe abyssal contamination, and it seems uninhabited. Over the years, many adventurers have come here in search of treasure or to slay the dragon. Unfortunately, none of them have ever returned. The Flower Feather Clan often sends riders to patrol the area and to prevent people from getting too close.
Wait, did you say slay the dragon?
Yeah, I know we introduced some adorable saurians earlier, but this creature is actually really terrifying. It occupies this ancient city and guards it fiercely. If it detects an intruder, then it will attack without hesitation.
Okay, that's
definitely
pretty
Durin,
concerning.
or one of
It's easy
his
to take
brother.
human-saurian coexistence for granted these days, but it actually took generations of effort to reach this point. This relationship wasn't nearly so harmonious in the ancient past. Travelers will need to explore Ochkanatlan to uncover the reason behind this dragon's rampage. Of course, travelers won't have to do this alone. Here, take a look.
Oh, what's that?
This is a
A
very important
platypus?
companion who will help us explore Ochkanatlan. His name is Kokoweek. As for his power, well, why don't you take a guess?
Okay, is he our moral support? You know, maybe he could make a cute noise every now and then to cheer us up.
Hey, let's not put our Tepetlosaur friend out of a job. Little one works really hard.
Okay, then I've got nothing.
Remember how I mentioned that Ochkanatlan is heavily corroded by the abyss? Well, that's where Kokoweek comes in. We can use his power to clear abyssal contamination. Follow the direction indicated by his light to collect secret source scraps and enhance his power. Once Kokoweek has enough power, you can take him to track down the evil dragon.
What a useful little guy.
I know, right? Now, travelers can explore Ochkanatlan with two companions, Kokoweek and Little One. In fact, I've heard there's even a special token around here that can enable Little One to traverse a volcano. A new adventure with Little One awaits in version 5.2. This update will bring us one step closer to uncovering the mysteries of Little One's past. Familiar saurian companions can also help us explore Ochkanatlan. For example, with the help of a Kaholosaur, we can evade source mechanism attacks. With the help of an Ikitomisaur, we can solve certain puzzles. With the help of a Kukusaur, we might even be able to chase down the evil dragon. But we'll leave the rest for you to discover, travelers.
Wait, are those some kind of lava fish? Does this mean we can fish in Netland?
Yes, but I've got some friendly advice, travelers. You should be very careful while exploring Ochkanatlan. Some of the abyssal monsters here can distort their appearance to mimic powerful enemies. High-level monsters such as the Tenebrous Papilla can mimic even stronger enemies.
Huh? It looks like these monsters take the form of plants outside of combat.
Yep, that's true. The Abyss has corroded Natlan's ley lines, allowing these monsters to read the memories inside of them and mimic creatures from Tevat.
How do we defeat them?
Travelers will need to use elemental attacks to break the enemy's protective void wards. Doing so allows them to take damage and causes them to enter a brief state of confusion. Night Soul aligned elemental attacks are especially effective against these wards.
Wow, the Abyss has gotten so advanced. It's scary to think about how much harder these fights will get if these abyssal monsters continue to evolve.
Yeah.
Okay, that was a lot of information to take in at once. But before we take our first break, we still have a couple of short announcements. Really short, I promise. First up, limited time exploration rewards will be available in version 5.2. Just like in version 5.1, travelers can earn up to 400 extra Primo Gems.
Okay.
And the rewards will be available all the way through version 5.3. It's now time to introduce the event wishes. In the first half of version 5.2, travelers can look forward to event wishes from Chaska and Lane. Auroron will also receive a drop rate boost. And in the second half of version 5.2, we'll have returning event wishes for Zhongli and New Villette. The weapon banner will feature a new 5-star bow, Astro Vulture's Crimson Plumage, and 2 new Natland specific 4-star weapons. Be sure to check them out if you're interested.
Alright, it's time for our first break. Once we come back, we'll dive right into the event portion.
Seven Tango Lima. I don't know what time is. Yes. D 43 J R. Okay, everyone. By that I mean the one viewer. Is that our little loading screen? I hope that would be implemented. That should be implemented on all future events. Also, C1 noob. I don't need as Zhongli. I only need one Duvelet. It would be extra. Little bit.
Welcome back, travelers.
Welcome back! Let's dive straight into the event section. So in the first event, we'll get to learn more about the Masters of the Nightwind.
That's right. In the version 5.2 event, Ikitomi Spirit-Seeking Scrolls, travelers will team up with Citlali and Auroron to get to the bottom of a mysterious accident that occurred within their tribe.
Travelers will need to complete combat challenges to defeat enemies who try to disrupt the ritual. They'll also need to reconstruct scenes from the tribe's woven scrolls, and gather lost spirits scattered throughout the region. Travelers will only be able to uncover the truth if they collect all the clues. But don't worry, there are also various rewards to earn along the way, including Primo Gems.
Ooh, I really like the vibe of this event. It looks like Citlali is performing some kind of ritual. It's also mysterious.
When a situation gets tough, it's Granny to the rescue.
Definitely.
Citlali and Auroron have some really fun dialogue in this event.
I'm always grabbing the popcorn whenever these two interact. They're practically a two-person show. And speaking of fun, let's get into the event gameplay. First up is the Search for Lost Spirits minigame. Travelers will have to work together to herd the scattered roaming spirits into specific zones to earn points. Pay attention to the conditions on the field if you want a higher score. For example, travelers can jump on stone slabs that appear on the field. These slabs will break open and release even more spirits. Storms may also appear during the game. You can track down spirits more effectively if you pay attention to the direction of the storms.
In Evil Banisher, travelers will need to select the right teams to complete the objectives. Completing all of the objectives will award you the Banishing Aura, which allows you to deal AoE damage by spraying paint at enemies.
That paint really matches the Masters of the Nightwind's aesthetic. It's super cool.
Yeah, and so does the Spirit Loom in restoring fragmented records. Citlali will use her powers to reveal special fragments. Travelers will need to piece these fragments together and assemble them on a woven scroll.
Make sure that you pay attention to the order and positions of the fragments. Oh, there's something else that we should mention. Travelers can obtain a new 4-star sword by completing this event. The design definitely fits the Masters of the Nightwind. It looks